Hey guys, I wanted to sit here and have a conversation with you guys. It's something that God laid on my heart to share. The message may be a little bit long, but as long as it reaches who it's intended to reach, that's all that matters to me. Um, so I'm going to speak on this matter, and hopefully it helps somebody. Um, so what I'm talking about is gratitude. So, about a week or two ago, I saw a post that said, be grateful for where you are right now because once upon a time you prayed to be where you are. And when I read it, I was like, okay, all right. But it didn't, I connected, but it didn't dawn on me. So the other day, I was at work, I was walking around doing my rows, and that quote came back to my mind because I've been trying to be more grateful and to speak um, to God about the fact that I'm grateful for where I am, where He's taking me, and what's happening now in my life, the shift that has happened within my life that is driving me to stop procrastinating, driving me to do what I need to do to get me to where I'm trying to go next, and for putting the right people in my path, and for always surrounding me with the right people, whether I utilize them or not, but asking for guidance on how to allow these people that He's placed in my life to help me, and just showing so much gratitude for what He does for me. So it got me to thinking, and I was like, wow, I really did pray myself to where I am today, to the job that I have today. Um, and the prayer that I've been praying the last couple of years before I got to this job that I prayed for back in like 2014, 2015, I've already prayed for my next step, the next journey in my life. And I feel like now it's that time for me to start prepping for that next step. Um, I love where I work at now, but I know that eventually I will outgrow where I'm at right now and have no choice but to do what I've already prayed for prior to me getting a job. But it made me think about it, and it made me think about the fact that the last few major jobs that I had, I prayed my way to them. So, with that being said, I want to tell you guys a story about that. Like I said, it may be a little long, but for those that need it, something's going to strike a nerve within the ones that this message is supposed to reach. And I want them to know that where you are right now is only the beginning. But I want you to remember that time where you prayed to get there, and that you've recently prayed for something. It's going to take time for you to get there, though. But it doesn't mean that you're not going to get there. So don't get weary. We all get weary, and sometimes our human flesh, we tend to forget that God has already showed us that He'll get us to where we want to go. It just takes time for Him to make those moves on our behalf. So I say that to say that in 2012, I had got a job after praying from 2008. Matter of fact, no, from praying from 2009 until 2012. I didn't have a job. Then in May 2012, I started working for Macy's. And that was the first job I had since I was 18 years old. And while I was there, I enjoyed it. But there came a point in time where I outgrew Macy's and they foolishness. And I was ready to go. Not ready, but ready. I was ready to go. Had been ready to go. So I remember praying about it, and I remember like, God, I gotta get up out of here. I mean, I filled out other job applications within the mall because I worked at Aventura Mall, and I was like, I gotta get out of Macy's. Maybe I can get inside one of these other stores or something. Nothing was budging. One day I was on the internet, and I was looking and searching. I was on Indeed, and I found this job post for this company called CSC. It was an event security company. I remember I filled out that job application. I did not have a security license. I had never been a security, didn't know what it meant to be a security. I just filled out the job application. And then when I got an email back about, me coming in to interview, I passed the interview. So I had to quickly find a place that did classes for me to get my security license. My mom helped me out. She paid for it for me. I got I did everything, and then I got my little blue card, but my fingerprints weren't going in. So I had to go down to the police station to personally do my fingerprints. I wasn't worried about that because I knew I didn't have a record. Did that, boom, everything went smoothly. I got the job. February 2013, I left Macy's. The manager that I had was trying to get me to stay because he knew I was a good worker. I should have been fired long before I put in my 2 weeks notice, but he always saved my job. But I told him, I have to move on from this because I'm not happy here and it ain't gonna work. So I started working for the event company. While I was working for the event company, um, I met some people. I stayed at that event company 2 years longer than what I expected. Um, I ended up working there for like 4 years. Don't get me wrong, it was a good gig because I worked at some pretty amazing places, the American Airlines Arena, Marlins Park. I did Ultra Fest. I worked the golf tournament. I worked at FAU, FIU. Like I got to work at a lot of different places. And so, it exposed me to a lot of things. So it got to a point where it served its purpose. When I got there, all I wanted to be was a worker. Eventually, while I was there, within my first year, no later than the start of my second year there, um, I became a supervisor. So I had no intention on being a supervisor, but it happened, and I found out, okay, I kind of like this, but I didn't like the foolishness that came with certain things. So there came a point in time I outgrew that job, but it took me forever to find another job. But let me backtrack a little bit. So February 2013, I started working for the event company. September 2013, I started working for Dee Dee's Discount. And I opened the store. When I opened the store, I was supposed to be loss prevention, but they had me as a backup loss prevention. So I was working on a sales floor. Then their loss prevention people, they fired some people, they got rid of some people. Some people left. So I ended up being, you know, the main loss prevention person because I had been there the longest. At the time when they offered me a full-time position, I didn't want it because I was still in school and I had the other part-time job. So I was like, I'd rather just have the two part-time jobs and go to school. and call it a day because the other job gave me the freedom that I needed. Plus, certain events, I work enough days, I made more money there than I did doing the loss prevention job. So, it was what it was. I wish I would have took the full-time position when they offered it to me. Because when I wanted it, they wasn't giving it to me. They was giving me a hard time about it. I left Dee Dee's 2 to 3 weeks before my 1 year anniversary of working at Dee Dee's. But I was still with the event company. Again, like I said, I stayed at the event company for 4 years. Towards the end of year 2, I was ready to go. I wanted to be out. Even with me having the opportunity of being a supervisor, the drama that unfolded there just wasn't for me. I'm not a dramatic person. So that was that. Within the 3rd year that I was working there, I started working for the county and a part-time job with the county. So, okay, that was working out fine. So I was like, okay, I can use the county, this part-time job to get a full-time job. Boom. Okay. Right? But let me go back. So in 2014, I prayed when I was going through everything I was going through with Dee Dee's. I prayed to get into TSA, but I kept missing when TSA was had openings, so I kept missing it. But I prayed and I was like, God, I want to work for TSA. God, just let me catch it. Just let me catch it. When it's time, let me catch it. The next time they open up, let me catch it. I kept missing it, and I was just like, dang, man, am I ever going to have that opportunity? But as I stayed there, I was like, you know what? By 2015, before 2016 when I started working for the county. So in 2015, I was like, look, Lord, I need to go. You need to either open up TSA or you need to find a way to get me another job so that I can leave here and have some time and space between me being here so I could work for the arena security. Because this ain't cutting it. So that was the prayer I prayed in 2014 and 2015 for TSA. And then if not TSA, I want to leave this event company, work somewhere else so that I can come back and work for the arena security. That was 2014, 2015 prayer. 2016, I started working for the county. So in 2016, I still had the event security job, and I was working for the county, and I was making it work. 2015, I didn't go back to school. I decided to take a year off, so I wasn't worried about that. 2016, yeah, I had already been a year in of no school. So I started saying, okay, well, then I forget it. Then I'll find a way for me to get a full-time job within the county. Boom. 2017, finally about May, June 2017, I left the event company. I had finally came to the realization I need to close the chapter on this job in order for me to be free to get another job or to move on to where I'm trying to go. By August 2017, I went back to school, but I went to a technical school for audio technology. Started that class. Still working for the county. Oh, also 2016, I had finally caught the opening for TSA and I took the test. Me and my best friend, we took the test. I passed, she didn't. But in the meantime, between time, I was also taking tests to try to get to be a 911 dispatcher. When I say I was trying to get from up out of that event security job, I was trying to get from up out of there, but my mom had always instilled in me, before you jump ship at one job, you want to make sure you have another job in store already prepped and ready to go before you leave. So I've always had that mindset to, before I leave something, let me make sure I have something else lined up. But because I had two incomes, I was like, I didn't want to solely depend on the county, but I had just got to the point where I was like, you know what? I got to, because I need to leave here in order for more doors to, I got to close the door in order for more doors to open up. You feel me? So, close that door while I was waiting to even see if TSA was going to call me back. Eventually, I just gave up. So, while I was in school, a year had already passed since I took my test. So, I was like, I probably going to have to take another test because they haven't reached me. They haven't called. Whatever. Forget about it. I forgot all about it. I just like, maybe it ain't meant. November 2017, the day before Thanksgiving, my mom had a really bad stroke. So that Friday, Black Friday, while my mom was in the hospital, I got a phone call. I got a phone call from TSA asking me if I was still interested in the job. They wanted me to start at December, but I didn't know, because my mom had just had a stroke, I needed some time in case, I needed to know what was going to go on as far as her rehab and stuff like that. So I told them I couldn't start in December. So I started January 7th, 2018. Went through with it, went through the class, got in, boom. Okay. I'm like, all right, I got the job that I wanted, but I still had the county job. So I kind of end up taking a leave of absence because then I wasn't available to be there as much. So I took a leave of absence to try to figure out, how is this TSA thing going to go before I just completely close the door on that job. I thought, okay, I'm going to stick it out. I like this. I like this job. So it's okay for me to let go of the county job. So I let go of the county job June 2018. So I stuck through it. I was fine. The money was good. But somewhere along the line, with them changing managers for the area that I worked in, I went from having a manager who really didn't care about certain things, but but strict, um, to a manager that was very caring, very involved, wanted to know how she could help you, wanted to know, you know, if there was any advice that she could give you, if there was anything that you needed to talk about. Very hands-on, to a manager that was just about firing ever and anybody that she could to build up her career. I didn't like her. Couldn't stand her. She was out to get any and everybody, especially her own people, which were Hispanics. So during that time, I had got to the point to where I was just like, I need to find something else in within this. Maybe I need to figure out another route to go in here, but I can't do this. Not with her being my manager. No. Amongst that, there was friction between me and some of the people that I came in with. Well, two of the girls that I came in with. And it was getting to the point to where somebody was going to get knocked out. So, and it wasn't going to be me. So, Yeah. I went on vacation to Dubai. First time out of country, first time having a passport, looking for peace. I was in a state of mind like, God, I need peace because I need to know what to do next. What I didn't know was he already had planned what was going to happen next for me. And and I just wasn't aware of it. I came home and not even a week after I came back to work, they fired me because I was on a 2-year probation. So it was easy for them to get rid of me. They fired me. So that was March 2019. I got fired from my job. April 2019, I started working for Instacart. October 2019, I became the arena security. But it did not dawn on me until the other day. God brought back to my remembrance that post. And I was like, wow, wow. Because it took like, by the time I started working for TSA, and I probably actually started praying for a job with TSA a lot earlier than what I mentioned. I only say that because I remember when I got the job, I was like, wow, this has been a 7-year process for me to get this to this point. It's been 7 years of me praying for this to get to this point to where, boom, I finally, you know, 6 years in, I finally was able to take the test, to fill out the job application, to take the test, and then 7 years in, they finally call me, and I finally get the job. Like, yes, you know what I mean. So probably the first time I ever really prayed about getting a job with TSA was probably 2010, like 2010. Yeah, like probably like 2010. 2010, 2011, because it was a 7-year process for me to get that job. Only for it to be snatched from me. Like, boom. The moment that I said to myself, okay, I need to figure out who I need to talk to here so I can go into another direction. Maybe not being a baggage officer or the officer, or, being the officers that you actually see when you're going through the airport trying to get to your plane area. I didn't want to be that either. I was like, I need something else. I need to do something else within this structure because I don't have to be this. I see so many other people being other things and still being up underneath this umbrella. I need something else that can keep me busy and keep me motivated until I can get where I wanted to go, which was to be in another agency. You know, to be in another alphabet agency other than TSA. But where I'm at now, before I got to where I'm at now, when I started having those hard days at TSA, I prayed and I asked God for a specific thing. So I know that that's going to come to pass. And I feel like right now where I'm at, and some things that has transpired, that's where I'm leading to. I'm leading towards what I prayed for a year or two ago. When I'll get there, that's not my business to know. But the shift that's happening within my mindset, the shift that's happening within my life spiritually as well as physically, in the physical realm as well as the spiritual realm. Things are about to change. And so I'm saying all that to remind someone that you prayed to be where you are now. And in the midst of you praying to be where you are now, at some point you prayed for where you really wanted to go. So you're in right now what you already prayed for. So know that whatever else you prayed for, God is just preparing. He has to build you up to that. He has to get you there. He can't just put you there if you're not ready to be there. So continue to allow him to prepare you. Continue to be grateful for the prayers that he's already answered. Because he's already shown you that he hears you, even when you feel like, is you even listening to me, sir? He heard you. He just got to get you there. So have faith that he's getting you there. He's preparing you. But you have to be ready. You have to be ready. Okay? So I hope this really, really helps somebody. And again, I'm sorry for it being so long, but I had to get this message out. It was going to continue to drive me nuts, not recording this and putting this message out. One thing I know for a fact is I never, ever want to disobey God again when he tells me to do something, because the consequences that happens afterwards, and I don't want to hear him so loudly in my ear. Let's say it like that. So I hope this helps you. I hope this motivates you to stay on the path. I love you. I know you're like, you don't even know me. I love you. And I pray that God continues to bless you and that he continues to allow you to see with your spiritual eyes the vision that he has laid in front of you. You may not know the how, you may not know the when, but all you need to do is just ask him to continue to lead you and guide you and show you what he needs from you, because he will. Have a good one.